this is good. Really, really, really good. Tonight for dinner, we are going to make up a quick stir fry. I am using beef stew meat because we actually have quite a bit of that in our freezer right now. So I went ahead and just took the beef stew meat and sliced it very thin. So it's already in great bite-sized pieces. If you don't have beef stew meat, other options are sirloin. You could use flank or skirt steak. Both of those would be delicious. But since we have this, I figured I would go ahead and use it. So we are also going to take some broccoli, and this is fresh broccoli. I'm just cutting it up again into bite-sized pieces, but you can absolutely buy a bag of pre-cut broccoli or frozen broccoli, whichever you like. And then I already have shredded carrots. We have them for the week. We do need to make up our sauce that's gonna go with this. So then we can head over to the stove and everything else will be over there after this. I also forgot to mention, in the rice maker, I do have rice already going. I'm gonna add this right here that I picked up. It's a no soy sauce. It's not as sweet as coconut aminos. So if you don't like the sweetness of that, I found this at Whole Foods. So we're gonna add 3 tablespoons. That might finish this off. Actually, let's add 4 tablespoons of this. And this next one, feel free to skip it if it's not something that you have on hand. I usually have something like this in our refrigerator because I feel like it's really good with stir fries, teriyaki, things like that. I just feel like it's really good. So it's this sweet chili sauce. So I am gonna add some of that in there, but you can absolutely skip this part. This is not spicy at all, by the way. I am going to add in, I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of that one. You guys know we love minced garlic, so we are gonna add in minced garlic to this. And I'm gonna go with about 2 teaspoons or so. That's just, if you guys have been here for a while, 1.5 teaspoons to 2 teaspoons is pretty standard for us in a recipe. Now, most of the recipes that you'll see for something like this call for 1 teaspoon of ginger, but you guys know how much we love ginger, so we are gonna add in 2 teaspoons of this ginger paste. I feel like this is the most convenient way to have ginger. You can absolutely buy it fresh and keep it in your refrigerator if you want to, and then just grate it up, but this is such an easy way to keep it. Okay, now to this, we need to add some broth, and the recipe calls for beef broth, beef stock, whatever it is that you wanna use. I make ours, so I'm gonna grab that out of the fridge and add about 1/3 cup. If you don't have beef broth or beef stock, you can feel free to just add water. That's about 1/3 cup-ish. And most of these recipes will tell you to fry your beef in the sesame oil. We prefer olive oil, but feel free to do it either way. Okay, I am going to add, you can use cornstarch. This is tapioca flour, arrowroot flour, anything like that. Regular flour, it's just a thickening agent. We're gonna add 1 tablespoon. We will stir this again once we go to pour it into the stir fry mixture. Now, one thing I did forget to do that I wanna go ahead and do before I put the cutting board and everything away. We've got some green onion and I wanna go ahead and cut that and get it ready so that when we're ready to serve, this is also ready. Green onion, ready for serving. Now everything else is over on the stovetop. Let's move over there. Okay, so we're gonna drop some olive oil here in the pan, maybe just under 1 tablespoon or so, and get that nice and heated. We want this to come to, we wanna be able to drop that steak in and hear that sizzle. Okay, we're going to put our steak in. And we do not have to season this a ton just because with soy sauce, it's obviously gonna have quite a bit of flavor. And this really only needs to cook for about 1 to 2 minutes before you start adding in your other ingredients. So I am gonna season it just a little bit, but really you don't need much because of the other flavors going in this. Okay, we're gonna add in the broccoli. And this is a lot of broccoli, you can go less, but I went ahead and used all of it. And for color, I am also going to add in some carrot. Okay, I do still have my heat on high, just so you're aware. I wanna try and saute that broccoli a bit. The pan was slightly overcrowded with that amount of beef in there, but it's okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and add in that sauce. It really doesn't take long. This meal, I mean, it's like 10 minutes of prep, 10 minutes of cook. So we're gonna go ahead and pour in that sauce. And the sauce will start to thicken up and it'll create a really nice sauce for this. At this point, this is completely cooked through. We are just waiting on the rice to be done, and we will serve this up. Such an easy dinner that came together in right about 20 minutes or so. Really, I feel like the thing you're waiting on is the rice. That's what takes the longest. Let me just give it a little taste here. It's super hot, but I'll taste the beef for you. Good flavor, not too salty. I really do like that soy sauce that I got as a replacement for soy sauce, so no soy sauce, but it's not as sweet as coconut aminos, so you're still getting that salty flavor. Just a little bit of that chili was a great addition to this. So if you don't have that, maybe you wanna pick it up, have it in your fridge, available for recipes just like this, but it's very, very good. Came together really quick. We are going to make barbecue chicken pizzas. We've made these mini style, we've made them regular style, we've made a big old pizza that we can cut for the whole family. These are so easy, and you can change up the recipe so everybody will love them. For this recipe, I'm starting off just by slicing up some red onion. You can obviously skip this if you want to. I just think this is really good on top of this. And we are gonna make little mini barbecue pizzas because we have these mini naan breads, but you can absolutely make this with regular flatbread, full-size flatbread. I'm gonna make mine in our little toaster oven that we have because it's convenient and easy to use. I've got some barbecue sauce here. This is just plain original barbecue sauce. You use whatever kind you like. So I'm gonna put a little bit on the bottom of each one of these. We've got some rotisserie chicken already. Well, I made a whole chicken, so technically it's not rotisserie, but it's a whole chicken that I just shredded up. Making sure we get some good protein on there. Okay, I'm gonna top it with some of these onions. Let me actually slice them a little bit smaller.
She's gonna just open it.
Ooh, grody to the max. Ew.
To you.
Grody.
I like it.
Gonna top this with a little bit more barbecue sauce. And I'm gonna be using just an Italian blend cheese, but you can use whatever kind of cheese you prefer. All right, these are gonna go into the toaster oven, and we're really just waiting on the cheese to be nice and melted. I'm thinking about 10 minutes at around 350. All right, so let me tell you guys, this is something I have been making for years. I'm talking like probably 8-9 years we've been making this. It's one of those things where you can make it for a quick dinner if you want it for dinner, but it's also a really great lunch option because it comes together so quickly. So if we have all the ingredients, often that's what we will do for lunches too. All right guys, we are going to make a jalapeno popper casserole, but I'm going to cut these ingredients down a bit because we just don't need the full size of this recipe. So this makes a 9x13 pan. We're not gonna be making a 9x13. It's sort of a little bit half. Okay, so I'm starting with about 1/3 of a block of cream cheese. So like maybe 2.5 ounces-ish. So we're just gonna set this to the side just so that it can come to about room temperature. And I've got some already cooked chicken. Now, I made a whole chicken. You don't have to do this. You can actually just use chicken breasts. Let me explain how I'm gonna do it versus how you might do it if you don't already have cooked and shredded chicken. You just wanna cut your chicken up into cubes. Then you're gonna take that and your bacon. You are going to cook that over on your stovetop. Cook that together, it's gonna give it really good flavor. I currently have bacon cooking in the oven right now. You guys know I prep bacon almost every week anyway, so we're just gonna take it from that and use it. Okay, so I'm gonna be using all of the rest of this chicken that we have, and I'm just gonna barely cut it up into pieces. Spray our pan or grease your pan. Now I'm gonna put my chicken in here. We're gonna end up mixing all the ingredients together, but this is just to kind of keep it separate. We're getting lots of good chicken. It's gonna be very protein, lots of protein in this one. Protein heavy. So now we're gonna cut up the jalapenos, and I'm gonna be careful to de-seed these because I wanna make sure, my husband and I will eat jalapenos, no issue. The kids, they may think it's a little too spicy if I don't pull those seeds out. And this is one of those recipes where maybe you don't really like spice. You could make this, add very little jalapenos, or another option You could use some Rotel, which has very mild jalapenos in it. And I mean, use as much or as little as you want. So don't go overboard if you're not crazy into spice. We're gonna save this one because I think that's gonna be a bit much if I add all of that. I'm also gonna chop up some green onion, and I'm gonna use both parts. Totally up to you, what you wanna use. You can omit this. You guys know you can do this however you would like. We are gonna add 1 green onion sprig to the cream cheese and about 1 of the jalapenos to the cream cheese. And again, just set that to the side. And then I'm going to cut some more and the rest will be for garnish. So for the top, I'm really only cutting the green parts. Okay, I'm gonna step over to the stove. My water is boiling and I'm gonna put in some penne pasta. You can use whatever kind of pasta you want. That is the beauty of this recipe. Another thing is if you don't wanna use pasta, you can use potatoes instead, and it's gonna be incredibly delicious as well. All right, so I added about 1.5 cups of uncooked pasta just to make sure we have a good amount. In with my cream cheese, I'm gonna put in some non-fat plain Greek yogurt, about 1/4 cup, maybe a little more. And you can absolutely use sour cream. You guys know we just use Greek yogurt in place of sour cream, just for that added protein. Totally up to you how you wanna do it. Now we're also going to put in some cheese. You use your favorite kind of cheese. This time my mom actually left this here, so I'm just gonna toss it in. It is just Colby cheese, about 1/4 cup. All right, let's try and incorporate this all together. My cream cheese is not quite as softened yet as it could be, but we're gonna start the process. We have the pasta done, and that is a hot pot. I'm gonna mix in the pasta with the chicken. Now we're going to spoon over this mixture, which you really could have just mixed it all together, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna do somewhat of a mix here, just in the pan, or casserole dish, that's what it's called. All right, I am adding a little bit of salt to this. I just quickly tasted it, and I do feel like it needs a little bit. There was no salt in the recipe, which was a little surprising. Okay, I feel like it's mixed pretty well. One thing I do like to do, because I feel like it'll burn, you know, up here on the sides, you'll get like that burn look and taste, obviously. I like to just clean it up just a little bit. I feel like it helps with that, and it makes it look a little nicer once it's done too. We're gonna take just a little bit more cheese for the top. You don't need to add too much cheese to the top because there's a pretty decent amount of cheese in this recipe. But you know, just to add that nice cheesy layer to the top. And now we're gonna take the rest of the jalapenos and the green onions and add that to the top as well. I didn't add the bacon. Well, I already added the cheese to the top, so now we're just gonna, oh my goodness. I'm losing it. I knew it was missing something. I knew it. Ah. Oh well, it's gonna have to just kind of get mixed in, because now it's not gonna have that nice cheesy layer on the top. So annoying. Also, during the break, I was peeling a beet for a different recipe, and it rolled out of my hand and straight onto my shirt. All right, well, there's just gonna be bacon on the top. I bet that's where the salt comes in. Y'all, why do y'all even watch my channel anymore? It's gotta be for the humor. That's really what it's for. Okay, so do not do like me. Mix the bacon into the recipe and save a little bit for garnish. This is going into our oven. It's preheated at 350 degrees. Mine is only gonna bake for about 10 to 12 minutes, but that's because everything in it is already cooked. Okay, here is our pasta. It looks delicious. All right, let's give it a try. Gotta get a little bit of everything, a little bit of bacon, a little bit of jalapeno, a little bit of pasta. It literally just came out of the oven. That is tasty. It's not spicy at all. Absolutely, I could have added more jalapeno and it would have been completely fine. Like, my kids can absolutely eat this. It is not spicy at all. So if you want spice, if you want heat, add more of those jalapenos, or don't take the seeds out. This is good. Really, really, really good.
Really, really good.
It is really, really good. My husband just keeps saying how good it is. Our verse today comes from Romans 1:17. For in it, the righteousness of God is revealed, from faith for faith, as it is written, the righteous shall live by faith. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more 20-minute meals, click the playlist above and you're gonna get lots more inspiration.